For Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, we're learning about GrowthWorks right here in Detroit. That nonprofit works with kids struggling with addiction and kids in the youth justice system. Recently, they developed the Hope Empowerment Coalition to address adolescent suicide, and that's why we brought in Beth and Brian to our studio to talk about the coalition's new initiative. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren.
This is such an important topic. Brian, the first thing I want to know is how the coalition has evolved and what were some important things you all found in your research?
Yeah, the beginning of the coalition began in around 2015 when St. Mary's Livonia Hospital did a community survey. It's now Trinity Health Livonia. They did a community survey that came back stating that the most important thing the community wanted to see was more help with mental health. And so at the time I was a school superintendent and I gravitated towards the adolescent mental health area. And so we got the 9 local school districts around us together and really worked with their mental health professionals that worked within those school districts to come together to talk about how we can best help, what are the problems that they're seeing within the schools, and how do we best address those issues.
And as a superintendent, did you see your students struggling with mental health up close?
Yes, if you look at the data, the student suicides and attempted suicides really kind of spiked during the more stressful times of a school year.
Yeah.
And so, and they really spiked down during vacation times. And so it's pretty clear that the stressors of school really have an impact on students. And so what we want to do as a coalition is we want to find the best initiatives to help support students during those times. We know we're not going to be able to change a lot of things that happen within schools, but we can provide opportunities for students to be supported during those most stressful times.
Yeah, and that support is so important. Beth, you also have a Students versus Stigma initiative. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the coalition came the student coalition, which from those districts that are part of the coalition, each of those districts have students that represent that district where they come together because we know kids talk to kids. And so it's powerful to have an adult coalition. It's even more powerful to have kids talking to kids.
What are some of the discussions that have come out of that with those students talking to one another?
That's a great question. So it kind of takes the direction of whatever the kids lead us to discuss. But kids are very well informed about the mental health and well-being of their fellow students, and they want to be part of the solution. And so those conversations could be anything from ideas that their own local districts could do with school clubs or school initiatives, but they also want to have a voice with those school initiatives that the adults are leading, and they want to be part of that conversation.
What impact have you all seen already on schools and students with the coalition and the initiative supporting them?
We've seen, in our peer-to-peer mentoring program, we've seen some of the early data that's come out. Redford Union has really kind of taken the lead on that program, and the data that they're seeing is very encouraging. We're seeing a lot more students stepping forward, looking for help and looking for support. And I think that's the first step in making a big difference, is having that identification. And so we are seeing some initial data coming out that's very positive.
All right, that's incredible. And Beth, you have a conference coming up this fall. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Absolutely. So the coalition has a conference every year. It's always on election day because that's when our locals have staff, our mental health teams that are available for quality professional development. If you go on the GrowthWorks website and look under the resource tab, you can get more information about it. And my understanding is registration for that conference opens up in the next week or two.
Incredible. And after attending that conference, how do you want people to walk away feeling, or what knowledge do you want them to have?
Well, it's a great opportunity for our mental health providers because not only is it quality professional development, but again, it brings mental health providers not just from their local area, but from a wider point of view. And whenever you bring professionals together like that, that is very powerful because you can leverage those resources, which also includes nonprofit agencies such as GrowthWorks and others that school districts work with. And
Yeah.
when you have that combination of professional development and training, but all of that knowledge and resources that you bring, it not only takes that impact from a local level to a societal level in terms of moving the needle for mental health and well-being for our kids.
I love that. That's incredible. Important work you all are doing. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.